Welcome back, everybody. Today I'm taking a look at 3 items I saw advertised on Facebook to see if they actually work. 2 of them seem practical, 2 seem kind of overpriced, and 1 of them I compared to a cheap model on Amazon. So let's get started with the first item, the Underdog sunglasses. Let's take a look at the Underdog Glasses, which I paid 79 bucks for these direct from the official website. I did find a listing on Amazon, although there aren't a lot of reviews there yet. A QR code with instructions. It feels very light. Let's see what's inside here. This is the Rudy model in the color Polarized Smoke. They claim that these are clip-to-cap sunglasses engineered for movement and convenience that regular sunglasses can't match. They're always with you. No slipping, bouncing, or fogging. Comes in polarized or non-polarized options. Blocks 100% of UVA and UVB rays. Now, there were a few reviews on Amazon for these. Of the people who liked it, they said it's well made. They love that the glasses don't fall off or that you don't have to put them somewhere when not in use. They also say it doesn't pinch your nose or temples. Now, the main con I saw, even from those who did like it, was the cost. 80 bucks, that's kind of steep. Other issues people had, some people said that light or dust or wind comes in from the sides. Someone said it requires constant adjustment to keep in the proper position. Several people online said it's good for those who already have prescription glasses, although the marketing doesn't really highlight that. First thing I'm gonna do today is put it on the main hat that I wear, which is my Utah Jazz hat, which ironically, I'm not a huge Utah Jazz fan. I just happened to go to a playoff game and I love the hat. But I'm gonna wear this throughout the day. I got a lot of stuff to do going in and out of places, in and out of my car, so it should be a great day to test these out. I just watched their instructional video and it looks pretty simple. They say there's 2 ways you can actually put this on here. You can do it with or without the hat on your head. All you're really supposed to do is take these clips and put it on the brim of your hat. And it does click when it opens. It clicks. Now you push it downward. Now it's hitting my nose before it's all the way down, so I'm gonna have to adjust my hat. All right, it's all the way down. Now they say adjust your hat up and down a couple times and slide this back. Feels more complicated than it looked in the video. Maybe it's just me. But all right, I think I got it in the right spot. So I adjusted it this way, I adjusted it this way. I think I'm ready to rock. So I'm gonna go outside and do some vlogging for my Freakin' 2 channel, because I got some taste tests there. I've got some other errands to run as well. This is gonna be on all day long. I'll have a pretty good idea by the end of the day how well these work. So let's head outside and get started. All right, initial observations of the glasses. I watched their video and it's pretty simple, obviously, but I can tell there's a few nuances that might take a little bit of getting used to, like getting them straight. When I first put them on, they actually look crooked because I had one clip further up than the other one, like this. So you have to make sure that it's straight like that, obviously. Then you have to make sure that it's in the right spot, front to back, because either it's way off your nose or smash it against your face. And you want it perpendicular to the ground. A bit of nuance, but I think I got it down. Clarity-wise, it's very clear. These are the polarized version. There's no glare whatsoever, and it's a bright sunny day out here. The lenses look really nice and clear. Of course, new glasses always look good. How are they gonna look after I've worn them for a while? I guess that's the question. You can see how the clarity looks with and without the lenses. Pretty good. I would say the darkness is just about right. Not too dark, not too light, and it's a nice shade as well. Fortunately, I have a lot to do today. I'm gonna be getting in and out of my car, going in and out of stores, so I'll be flipping these up and back down quite a bit today. And I'll have a good idea of how they work by the end of this day. Let's get started and see what we can come up with. Now, if I have any small observation to report on my first use, is that when you have a normal pair of glasses and they're just like a little bit off, all you have to do is just kind of push them up at the bridge there. Here, you actually need 2 hands. You might have to take the entire thing off. Like if I just want to slide it back a little bit, it's maybe not quite as easy as just using your finger and pushing your glasses back. On the other hand, I'm going in the store. Instead of having my glasses on my shirt or on my hat, kind of bright, they're gonna be with me right there. Maybe the small con is offset a little bit by the big pro, but I'm heading inside. We got a long way to go, but let's see how they do. My first transition from outdoors to indoors. When I walked out of the store, I instinctively reached for my sunglasses I usually kept right here, but this time I don't have to. Nice. I kind of like it. The other thing I kind of like about it is that when I lean over, a lot of times my glasses will fall off my shirt. Having your head fall off there, they don't fall off when you lean over. You know, another advantage I'm noticing as I'm out driving around is that I've got kind of a big head. And a lot of times the arms from my glasses tend to squeeze over my ears over time, and it kind of, not only do I get indentions, but it just wears me out after a while having those on there. Don't have that here. It's not even on my face. It's not even, literally not even touching me right now. So I do like that about it. That's kind of cool. I will continue to look for pros and cons as I continue to use this in real world situations. Ha! There is something oddly satisfying about walking outside from a store and giving it that ratchet sounding flip. Well, at least it's oddly satisfying to me. I don't know about everybody else. Several people online said they use these over their regular glasses. Well, I don't wear glasses, but I do wear reading glasses. So I thought, when would I possibly need sunglasses and reading glasses at the same time? Reading outside. Let's give it a shot. It's bright out here. It's bright. All right, reading glasses time. Now, how's this gonna, I haven't tried this yet. Oh, it's the glasses, the sunglasses are right up against the reading glasses. Will that affect anything? Oh, it's working. It's weird because I think that the sunglasses are maybe even touching the reading glasses. Can you see from the side? I don't know if you can see or not. But that doesn't really seem to matter. I mean, when I'm reading this, it looks perfect, and it's not so bright out here either, so I guess you can use it with glasses. It might depend on the design of your frames, but it seems like some people said it was possible, although others said it wasn't. Your mileage may vary, but in my case, with my reading glasses, just a quick test, it seems to work. Let's take a look at the pros and cons of the Underdog glasses. The biggest pro to me is they don't fall off. When you lean over, even when you're indoors, they stay attached very firmly. They're also not in the way when not in use. So I kind of like that about it. The cons would be that it takes a little bit more adjustment than regular glasses to get right. You have to adjust them back to front, perpendicular to the ground, and get it in the right spot on your hat so your hat fits perfectly. If you wear a lot of hats, it won't be as easy to mix and match this because you have to attach it to each one of your hats separately and adjust it. But to me, the biggest con is the cost. At 80 bucks, that's kind of rough, man. And a lot of people on the comments were saying the same thing. Maybe if it becomes more popular, they can bring the price down because I fear that the price alone may be the downfall of this product. One more thing to note also, if you're someone who likes to wear your hat way low like this, you're a low rider. In that case, the glasses don't really help too much. I'm looking right through it. Hat lowriders may not like them. Overall, I really like this product. I hope it succeeds over time because I think that it's actually a great invention. Let's move on to the next item I saw advertising on Facebook, and that is this, a device for plunging your face in ice water. I also compare it to a cheap model I found on Amazon, and let's see how my test went. Here is a facial plunge ice bowl. I paid 88 bucks for this. Usually it sells for 98 to 120, but I had a $10 coupon. I got this on Amazon where it currently has a 4.4 star rating among a whopping 16 reviews. All right, here it is, not much to it. Now they claim that it's a face plunge bowl with breathing tube right here, and dual zone design where you can put the ice here, water here, and the ice does not come in contact with your face. Simply add ice, water, dunk your face and enjoy a refreshing glow. Instantly depuffs your face in the morning and tightens pores. Now most of the reviews I saw on Amazon were people who got it for free, so I kind of take those with a grain of salt. But some people said that it's great to feel refreshed in the morning, while others pointed out the high price. This should be interesting to try out. Let's take a look at this face ice bowl. I paid 10 bucks for this. Currently has a 4.1 star rating among over 140 reviews on Amazon. And here is the design. They claim that it's a silicone ice bath bowl with built-in ice tray. Collapsible tub holds ice and water for a quick face dunk. They say it tightens skin, reduces puffiness, leaves you glowing. So compact you can pack it in a suitcase for travel. I guess it comes open like this, and that's all there is to it. Now people on Amazon who liked it, they said it's well made, great price, easy to use. Those who didn't like it said it was too shallow. The instructions are not very clear. So I'll read over these minimal instructions and then we will get started. All right, let's fill this up before we get started now. Go over the instructions here. Step 1 says pour the right amount of water into the refrigerator to chill. Number 1, what's the right amount? And number 2, this is not a refrigerator. Who determines the right amount? Because to me that might be the right amount, I don't know. Is it overfilled a little bit? Maybe it is. I'll pour a little bit of water out. But the next step is to put it in the freezer for 6 to 8 hours. I'm gonna put it in there overnight. So I'm gonna pour just a tiny bit of this out, throw it in the freezer, and come back tomorrow, and then we'll get started. All right, I'm ready to do some face plunging here. I've got a whole list of things I'm kind of looking for my comparison here. Ice contact, face fit, water coverage, splashing, comfort. I'm gonna do about 3 30-second dunks each, separated by about a half an hour. Let's start off with El Cheapo one first. But one thing I will say that just comparing the two of them size-wise, this one's much heavier, so I don't think it'll slide around. It also seems more ergonomic for your face. That doesn't mean this won't work though. So we have our ice here now. Moving on to their instructions, step 3. Once frozen, simply bend a durable silicone bowl to release the ice. Looks like just the right amount of ice in there, so that's good. All right, it seems separated. We got some stray ice shards. Do I leave them in there? I think I do. Fill the bowl with cold water, then immerse the ice in it. Isn't the ice already in it? And then it says, pour the right amount of water into the refrigerator to chill. What's the right amount? I've just got some cold tap water here. All right, the ice came out, but it looks like it's melting pretty quick. That was cold tap water, so I don't know. I'm guessing the water's gonna be cold enough at least. Should be enough for a few dunks. Here we go, dunking in the face. Well, it's cold, but my face barely fits in there. See, I went kind of diagonal. Let me see if my face will fit in if I just go without being diagonal. Oh, not as well, not as well. I gotta go diagonal. It's cold, it's refreshing, but my face barely fits in there. All right, dunk number 3. My face feels refreshed, it feels nice and cold, but my face barely fit in there. That's an issue. Even though it seems nice that it has its own ice included, that really isn't a lot of ice and it melted very quickly. You could obviously add more ice, but the ice that comes with it is not a lot. It just felt very cramped. I don't even feel like I got my entire face in there. It was like just the front of my face. So you get what you pay for. If you want a down and dirty, cheap bowl for dunking, this might work, but maybe there are better options out there. I'm gonna give my face about a half hour to reset, and then we're going for the big expensive model to see how that compares. Now, one more quick note on the cheap model before I get to the expensive model. Now, I was worried that maybe I was gonna have the ice directly touching my face, but there was so little ice in there, I didn't really have that problem. I could have just filled it up with ice with my freezer, but the fact that my face didn't even fit that well means I don't really wanna keep trying. I couldn't even get my face all the way in there, so what's the point? This one, on the other hand, it seems like my face will fit. I think it's gonna fit. So let's see how this one goes. First up, add ice to the outer chamber, and then we pour water over the ice up to the fill line, which is right here. Good thing I have a ton of ice made because I just reviewed an ice maker. Now that ice maker makes pretty small ice, but I still think that it's not gonna go through there, so we shall see. This seems to hold a pretty good amount of ice. You can see it's all the way around the edges there. So now what we're supposed to do is pour water over this ice to fill up the entire chamber until it's at that line right there. It's cold water, but it's kind of melting the ice a little bit, but I can just add more. Once this is full, I'm going to top off the ice here. Now we are at the fill line. All right, we're full of ice in the outer chamber. Nice ice cold water in the main chamber where my face is going to get dunked. And let's not forget with this one, we have a snorkel. No need to hold my breath for this one. Here we go. First. I mean, my first impression is my complete face fit in there. I could dunk my face all the way down. I got all the way out to the side of my face, as opposed to the other one where I only got the front of my face. The snorkel takes a little bit getting used to when you're not used to using a snorkel. Oh, I mean, my shirt's getting all wet. Oh well. Let's go for take 2 here. Here we go. Plunge number 3. You know, facial hair holds water like a sponge. I had to change my shirt because I had drip water all over the other one. But let's talk about these two now. And I went into this thinking there probably was going to be a big difference between the cheap model and the expensive, and I was wrong about that. As far as the ice contact goes, this one really produced minimal ice. If I had added a bunch of ice in there, it would have been right up against my face. This one, no contact with my face with ice whatsoever. This one also holds a good amount of ice and kept the water ice cold. As far as the face fit goes, this is perfectly formed for a human face. This is square. I felt like I couldn't even get my face all the way in there. I had to go diagonally and it still didn't fit that great. Neither one of them overflowed, but I felt like this one was certainly had much less capacity than this one does. The snorkel was surprisingly a nice addition because you could keep your face in there pretty much as long as you want. And with the fact that it's not contacting ice, you can actually extend your session quite a bit. This one is significantly more expensive than this one. This one does fold down for storage pretty nicely. This is pretty bulky, but as far as function goes, there's no comparison whatsoever. This model destroyed the cheap one. I'm hoping there's a cheaper model that appears out there because I do like it. It's just overpriced. And this to me seems like it was maybe repurposed from something else. It doesn't even seem like it's designed for a face. I thought I'd come up with a cheaper alternative, but this was not it. My face does feel refreshed after 6 plunges this morning, so I do like the idea of it. But you can also just splash your face with cold water or hold a damp cold washcloth to it. There's other options as well. But if you want to go for the face ice plunge method, you don't mind spending a few extra bucks, can't go wrong with this. If you don't want to spend the money, I don't even think I'd buy this. I would just splash cold water in your face and call it good. This almost seems like something you could 3D print. So maybe that's another option as well. Cheap versus expensive doesn't always go the way I expect, and this one did not go the way I expect. The expensive one certainly won this battle. And for the final item I saw advertised on Facebook, it's a product to elevate your snacking experience. Literally, it is the SnakJak. Let's take a look at the SnakJak. I paid $17 plus 7 shipping direct from their official website for a total of 24 bucks. There it is, looks like almost like a plastic Pringles can, but they claim that you can take your snacking to the next level. Literally. They say it's the snack container you didn't know you need. This container elevates your snacks to you. No more digging into the bottom of the can or bag. They also say it's a great space-saving design. They say it's easy to use, keeps snacks fresh and protected without annoying clips. Removable bottom for crumb removal. Also, which is important to me, dishwasher safe. Now there's no real listing on Amazon for this, so I don't really have any pros and cons from consumers to report. But I went on the website and it shows I'm using it with everything from cheese balls to Pringles, M&Ms, pretzels, Oreos. If I understand the website correctly, it was invented in response to the Pringles can trying to dig their hand in the bottom of it and not succeeding. So I'm gonna read over these instructions, clean this off, and then we'll get started. All right, I'm ready to get started now. I'm looking over at their card here. Now the first thing they say is don't fill it with more than 1 pound of snacks. It should be easy enough. The more you use it, the smoother it glides. And they say to apply a little bit of vegetable oil to the track for ultra smooth operation. I did notice after cleaning it out yesterday that this slider seems to kind of stick a couple places. Like I'm trying to move smoothly. It seems to stick up right down here and right there. I even noticed some of their Instagram videos, it seemed to stick for them too. So it's not just me. It seems like that it's just part of the way it's designed. It's not smooth. But I've got a little vegetable oil right here. Let's apply that and see if it helps. Got a brush that fits right in that track. So hopefully that helps. Let's see, is it ultra smooth now? I would say it's smoother. Smoother is good enough, right? I can still feel it kind of sticking in a couple places, but we're just gonna go with it. Now on their card here, they show things like cheese balls, Oreos, Pringles, pretzels, and Doritos. So let's try a few of those things. What's interesting is that you push down to lift up. You push down to lift the lever and you pull up to retract the lever. Let's start off with something easy like some pretzels here. How much does it hold? Let's see. Now I don't want to fill it too much because I want to be able to use the lever. So I've got it partially full. Let's assume I've already eaten some of this now. I guess you just lift it up until it stops moving and then you're kind of locked in place. Right now it's up to right there, so I should be able to fill it a lot more than that if I wanted to. But one thing to point out is when the lever is completely up, you still have a little bit on the bottom, so it doesn't fill it completely up. So instead of reaching my hand in there, I just push the lever so I can raise the snacks to me. Pretty cool. My first thought is something they don't even really highlight is the fact that when you keep the snacks kind of compressed like that, they're not going to move around as much and not break. If you had a half-empty can of chips like that, they're going to get smashed if they get moved around. With that lever raised, they're held in place. See how much it actually holds. All right, here it is completely full now. The lever's all the way up, and that holds a goodly amount of pretzels. Let's see how much that actually holds. So this is how much actually fit in there, which is actually a pretty good amount. I'm gonna test a few different snacks in here, then we're gonna go out for a real world test. Next up, let's try something else in here. How about a family-sized bag of peanut M&Ms? This family size bag was 10 bucks, by the way. And it holds, actually, it probably hold 2 of those. You could hold $20 worth of M&Ms in here. Now here's the thing, the lever's all the way up. Kind of moving around here now. If I push it down, kind of lock that in place. Now they're not moving around, so they'll be more protected. But I don't want to reach my hand in there. That's old school. I will raise the snacks to myself. Now it's all the way to the top. Now they showed Doritos in there, and I think it was Doritos, unless they were the minis. I couldn't really tell from the photo. But I was thinking, are Doritos gonna fit in there? Because that's, you know, it's a small-ish opening. Let's see. Oh, they're fitting. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if they're gonna fit, but they are fitting. Now it doesn't fit a lot, but it does fit some in there. Let's take some of those out of there now, get it half full. See, I'm not reaching my hand in there. No way, man. That's old school. Here we go. And the next thing I want to try is, they were showing this in their marketing materials, that the person who invented this supposedly got sick of reaching his hand way to the bottom of a Pringles can and came up with this idea of raising the floor so that the chips come to you. Now the way they showed the Pringles being put in here is they put the SnakJak completely upside down like this, turn it over, lift the can out. Oh, it worked. That worked. It worked exactly as they said it would. That is a lovely sight, I must say. I don't want it completely full. I wanted to get the full SnakJak effect. So now we have 3/4 of the way up. Adjust the lever so the chips come to me. All right, so now when I'm getting down to the bottom here, now on a Pringles can, you have to reach in there, which, you know, some people don't like doing that, I guess. SnakJak, you press the lever until it comes up to you, and now you're all the way to the top. I kind of like it. So what I need to do now is load this up with a snack that I feel like snacking on, which might be these, I don't know, and head out for a real world test. So as I said earlier, if you had a half empty can of chips and dropped it or threw it somewhere, they'd probably smash all the pieces. But here, they're kind of held in place, so let's see what happens. Where did that go? All right, here it is. I mean, it holds them so nicely. And that wasn't even really an advertised feature, just something I kind of realized. But they all look unbroken. That's kind of nice. I wouldn't say even after adding the oil that it's smooth as silk. There are some spots where it kind of sticks. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but it's not perfect. I'm guessing if they ever put out a version 2 of this, they'll have a smoother lever. Although I'm not sure what change they would make. I think that's probably the one thing I'd probably fix, is that it's not quite smooth enough. But I'm sure they're aware of it, or they wouldn't have mentioned the oil in the instructions. It's almost deceptive when you're eating these because it always seems full. It's always at the top. They're like sticking all the way out. Then you get to the bottom and you feel like, what happened? I just had a full container of them. I first heard of this through a Facebook ad, and I noticed a Facebook ad this morning, and there was a single comment. One person said, or you could just use a bowl. I mean, you're kind of missing the point if you say that, because this is more for snacking on the go. Yeah, if you're sitting on your couch, you can use a bowl, but you're in your car for lunch, it's going to be better than having an open bag or an open container. Or if you want to have your cabinets organized, you could have a bunch of these. You could have chips, pretzels, candy. It would look nice having them all together. A lot of the bags and packaging doesn't keep it as fresh, doesn't keep it as protected. So I'm kind of a fan of this. And the price, I mean, 17 bucks, given the price of the other things I've tested in this video, doesn't seem that unreasonable. You know, and I have no stake in this company. You know, if I pointed out things that they could fix. So it's not, I'm not paid to do this, but I kind of like it. I'm going to keep using this. I have a lot of snacks in my kitchen. Sometimes they get smashed, they get stale. I think this will take care of some of those things as well. I might be going on a road trip this summer. I'll certainly take this with some snacks as well. So I'm going to keep using it. If I have any other observations, I'll let you know. But my first impression is that this is a pretty cool product. It may not be necessary, but I do think that those who buy it will like it, myself included. It is oddly satisfying to use as well. In the end, I thought all these actually worked. I'm almost certainly going to continue to use the SnakJak and the Underdog Glasses. But we'll see about the face plunge bath. But I'll give you an update on all 3 of these products in about a year on update 72. But that's all I've got. If you've tried any of these products, tell me what you think in the comments below. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next time.